What's going on with The Weeknd? Is his mysterious and dominant star power starting to fade in front of our eyes? Since his inception, The Weeknd's released fire projects back to back, and although some might say otherwise, especially when it comes to Starboy, his third studio album, those critics had little to no effect on The Weeknd's brand, as within that era, the hype surrounding Starboy was insane, and the project was a success. It produced hit singles Starboy, I Feel It Coming, and the album debuted number 1 on the US Billboard 200 with 348,000 album equivalent units. It's now 2022, and we have this latest project. And yeah, it hasn't really received that massive appeal outside of The Weeknd's hardcore fanbase. So I will give my unbiased opinion about this situation. Is this the end of The Weeknd? The Weeknd needs no intro at this point. Born Abel Tesfaye on February 16, 1990, he saw a lot of success in his career. He has a huge cult following, sold over 75 million records, and is referred for making dark R&B mainstream. Prior to his fame, he used to upload music on YouTube anonymously, and many people thought The Weeknd was a band. In 2012, The Weeknd released Trilogy, a compilation album composed of mixtape and remastered versions of his 2011's mixtapes House of Balloons, Thursday, and Echoes of Silence. Abel started making major gains in 2013 after being an opener on Justin Timberlake's The 2020 Experience World Tour. He also contributed to the soundtrack for The Hunger Games: Catching Fire on songs Devil May Cry and Elastic Heart. In 2014, he remixed Beyoncé's Drunk in Love, and he scored a placement on the 50 Shades of Grey film soundtrack with the track Earned It, which further pushed his name in the music world. The Weeknd went from being a niche artist to a global phenomenon following the release of his second studio album, Beauty Behind the Madness, in 2015. RIP to 2015. In its opening week, Beauty Behind the Madness earned 412,000 album equivalents, and it became The Weeknd's first #1 album in the United States. His debut studio album, Kiss Land, which sold 95,000 in its first week, was extremely darker in contrast to BBTM, which led some die-hard fans to scream that the Canadian artist had sold out, which I understand. But if we're going to be real, the darker themed Abel or mixtape Abel needed to be watered down to reach the mainstream GP status. Pop and funky grooves were added to Beauty Behind the Madness, but they did not disband The Weeknd's signature dark sound completely, resulting with songs like The Hills and Often, which reminded us the origin of The Weeknd were still intact. In 2016, we got Trap Abel, Starboy. The 18-track project is mainly R&B, pop, and trap. It incorporates electropop and new wave. The album is filled with hits, from its braggadocio leading single of the same name, Starboy, the fast-paced menacing False Alarm, and the groovy electronic I Feel It Coming featuring Daft Punk. The leading single, Starboy, peaked #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, while I Feel It Coming was a top 5 hit on the same chart, peaking at number 4. On the album, we find The Weeknd navigating his newfound celebrity status. Starboy received generally favorable reviews, with some notes of the project being too long. Starboy was another chart topper on the US Billboard 200, debuting #1 with 348,000 album equivalent units first week. After Hours. Released under The Weeknd's own XO and Republic, stylistically similar to Starboy. But on this journey, The Weeknd dives deeper into the cosmos, tackling promiscuity, overindulgence, and self-loathing, stripping back the fake exterior of our everyday lives and exposing one's true nature. All of which can go over your head because of the pristine, polished production. Take the leading single Heartless, where The Weeknd is making a statement that, hey, I'm going back to my fuckboy ways, and I don't give a shit because he got heartbroken in his previous relationship. The metro booming beat is infectious. If you got paper, make it rain, and if you only have coins, well, make it hail. Whether you are male, female, non-binary, Heartless will make you feel like a badass bitch. Then while you're recovering from your back injury from all that twerking, Blinding Lights was released as a second single. Crafted by the synth god, it creeps up on you like a nasty hangover. Then you find yourself in a casino, then you're driving a fast car. It's wild. Wait, am I The Weeknd? Blinding Lights topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 4 weeks and is the first song to hold a spot in the top 10 on the chart for an entire year. Blinding Lights was ranked as the #1 greatest Hot 100 hit of all time by Billboard and is the artist's most successful single to date. After Hours debuted atop the US Billboard 200 with 444,000 album equivalent units, and as of March 2021, the album has been certified double platinum by the RIAA. Grammy night is a night to remember for music's greatest artists, or that's what you think it'd be for. And for the 63rd annual Grammy Awards, The Weeknd received 0 nominations. Not 1, not 0.5, if that makes sense, despite having the biggest album and song of that year. It's alleged the Grammy wouldn't allow The Weeknd to perform at the ceremony if he went through with his performance at the 2021 Super Bowl halftime show. The Weeknd wanted to perform at both, but the Grammys wanted him to choose, and he chose not to perform at the Grammys, and the Grammys said, "Okay, your ass is grass." Snubbed. The Weeknd called out the Grammys in a tweet stating, "The Grammys remain corrupt. You owe me, my fans, and the industry transparency." Following this, The Weeknd has currently boycotted the award ceremony and won't submit his music anymore. But for this year's Grammys, he received 3 nominations, 2 for Album of the Year on Doja's and Kanye's projects, Planet Her and Donda, and for Best Melodic Rap Performance for Kanye's Hurricane, which features The Weeknd and Lil Baby. Hold on, let me turn on my radio. Don FM, The Weeknd's 5th studio album, released on January 7, 2022. So far, it's released 3 singles, Take My Breath, Sacrifice, and the city pop track, Out of Time, which samples Tomoko, Aran's Midnight Pretenders. The album is narrated by Jim Carey, and it features Lil Wayne, Quincy Jones, and Tyler, the Creator. Don FM continues with the dark themes, but more cinematic, laced with existential themes and regret. The sequencing on Don FM is impeccable, as the tracks transitions from one to another. Don FM was met with widespread acclaim from music critics and received an 88 out of 100 score from Metacritic. But despite this, and The Weeknd being The Weeknd, Don FM debuted on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 2. With 148,000 album equivalent units, Best by Gunna's DS Forever, which sold 2,000 copies more, which is not a whole lot, but there is a reason for this. Don FM is a masterpiece in my opinion, and I think it's The Weeknd's best album, but where it lacks in today's music market, Gunna's albums prevail. Let me explain. On Don FM, the tracks sound dated. And yes, on After Hours, The Weeknd also borrows sounds from the 80s, but it was reinventive to match the pace of today. While Don FM, it sounds perfect for the 80s and mainly that time period. A lot of people did not like Don FM. Some call it trash and mid, which makes no sense to me. You can obviously not like the album, but with Don FM themes of regret and purgatory, I don't think people want to deal with that right now. And the throwback theme is now tired, to be honest. It's a beautiful album, but unfortunately, a lot of people did not see it. And Don FM might go down as The Weeknd's most unappreciated album. Now, this is me after I edited the video. I just want to add that with The Weeknd's Don FM, we saw one of the lowest first week sales for The Weeknd. Normally his albums do from 300 to 400k first week, so there was a drastic drop with Don FM, and I know some are gonna say The Weeknd did not release any physical copies, but I do believe Gunna did not release any physical copies either. Now, if I am wrong, definitely correct me in the comments, but this would prove that they went in on kind of equal planes. The point I'm trying to prove is that the audience wasn't so interested in Don FM. The Weeknd did something different, and Gunna gave the people exactly what they want. Hence why Gunna debuted #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100. But is it over for The Weeknd? Nope. What do you think about Don FM? And do you think this is the end of The Weeknd's Billboard reign? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Select all when you subscribe so that you get notified when I drop my next video. I'm Don, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.